just gonna wait. Maybe it's the people. There we are.
Hello, this is George.
Ben Bonnie.
And this is what we're calling now Yohei Sanctuary Truth Classroom. Now, last week, we told people a lot of things. You might say things that a lot of people won't like. But let me go over some things before we even get to 1 Samuel 10. We got a notice from one of our watchers, and I'm going to read to you what that person wrote. Don't worry, I'll get there. That person wrote, I'm doing what Bonnie said on the program. Go back twice and listen. She went back twice and listened. I believe I'm ready to study now, which was interesting. It took a lot of courage to do what you did, what the person said. I'm still in awe. You might say, she said, wow. Okay. I had to answer back to her, and this pretty much is the essence of what we talked about last week. Now, think about it. I wrote her, thanks for letting us know. And I said, that was what we had to do, not for us, but for the individuals who want truth, the ones Yahweh is counting on to keep truth going in society long after we die. That was his desire for humankind. Interesting. And I told her to keep on studying for truth the rest of your life. May Yahweh be with you always. Mm-hmm. Now, that puts an essence of what we really do. And I was supposed to say part of this last week, but I'm glad I didn't, because this comes along at this time. Answers greetings. I have to apologize to Yohei for not using any name except his real one, or for using any name except his real one. I can't make up some excuse like, I didn't know, so it shouldn't be counted against me. People, I had to apologize to him. We're brainwashed like the world that any name will do, but that's not true. I also have to apologize to the ones who watch the Sanctuary of Truth classroom to hear truth. I hunted and found out that I didn't find the whole truth, and I apologize for that. This should show you never to take our word or any priest's word with blind faith. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how one gets sidetracked. Yes, that is how one starts to follow man's worldly truth. Society must study and keep studying for Yahweh's truth. I never stopped. And look what was found. By count, it's 6,828 times his real name was used in the Torah. That's the Old Testament. We've already lost one person. Only the chosen people, from what we have found so far, they tried to change his written name 6,824 times. So they left 4 of them in the scriptures that we found. We stand in awe to what else he will show us in the future. We know that Moses wrote the Torah, the first 5 books of the Torah, Tanakh, the Old Testament. Moses didn't write them when he was in the royal family in Egypt. it was after he was called, and he wrote about that in Exodus 3. When he saw the burning bush and Yehovah talked with him, there Moses was told the true name of God. So do you think that when he wrote the first 5 books, the Torah, he would have used a name? He would have used a name he wasn't told? Or that he would have used a name that he was told on the mountain? We believe when Moses wrote, he showed respect to Yehovah, and that is where transliterators have made up their imitations. Moses would have only used Yehovah or Yodhavah to give honor to the name. What do you think? Mm-hmm. Amen. The hard part came in what we found out this last week. The hard part came in 57 BCE. When the Sanhedrin was formed. To that the ruler and leading council for the Jews. When they came to power, they started the ruling ladder for power, changing what Moses wrote. Yes, they showed the next ruling religion how to come into power and take the names of Yehovah and Yeshua out of the picture altogether. What has happened in our day and age is God has given the knowledge of his real name, Yod-Havahe. Now he has opened the door for society to see his room and see all the chairs in his classroom empty, covered with dust, for the lack of his truth. Now, I know that's just something that we just wrote, but you know that gives you a good picture of what's happened. Mm. Now, we can't tell you that by using Yod-Havahe will get you to heaven, but you now have the knowledge that the small road is a very hard road, and the small gate is to Yeshua. If you get there through Yeshua's gate, you better know his real name. Like we always said many, probably years ago, don't call him Fred or any made-up Messiah name, any one of them. If you are one of the few who get to Yod-Havahe's door, Yod-Havahe's house, when you knock on his door, don't be like the 5 virgins who weren't prepared. You can't call out to him using any made-up name. You might as well call Yod-Havahe any name you want, except the truth, and it won't help you. Those imitations show no respect, but they do show disrespect, contempt, and lack of honor, you might say, to both of them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We know, by studying, Moses was born somewhere close to around 1526 BCE, about 640 years after Abraham. All that he wrote in the Torah was given to him by Yehovah. His writings would have been about, think about this, Noah, Enoch, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph, to name a few. Right. The history, this is good, the history of humankind. Yeah. Bereshit, or Genesis 1, is the beginning which cannot be dated. We know through science and history that Yehovah created the dinosaurs, which science has proven are what? 3 billion years old? That's their history. Yahweh is in control, not some religion, priest, or pope. No man-made religion can even come to Yahweh's presence. You better not shift your desire to man, no matter what his title, power, or position is. If the man is what you desire, then you will never see those dusty, empty classroom chairs that religion has blocked you from seeing by their brainwashing about Yahweh. Okay. That was a little talk. And we'll have a little talk at the end too. So if you don't like it, you can turn it off then. We're going to go over 1 Samuel 10. My sweetie's going to read verse 1.
Oh, see how I mess it up. Then Samuel took a flask of oil he had prepared and poured it on Saul's head. He kissed him and said, Yahweh, is that good?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Has anointed you to be prince over his inheritance.
Here is this unknown Benjamite from the least important family of that tribe. That's what it's told us in the beginning, back in 9.
Mm-hmm.
And he is told, you, Shaul or Saul, will be the prince over Yahweh's people. Their leader, their ruler, their first king. Think about it. You're really just a nobody in your tribe, Saul. Looking for your father's donkeys, and by the time you get home, you're the whole country's king.
Yeah.
Interesting. Talk about a life-changing experience. Then this prophet, this judge says, well, what did he say in verse 2?
After you leave me today, you will find 2 men by Rachel's tomb in the territory of Benjamin near at Tezrah. They will tell you that the donkeys you were searching for have been found, and that your father has stopped thinking about the donkeys and is anxious over you and asking, what am I to do about my son?
When you leave, you will be told your father is worrying about you by 2 men. From those 2, go to the oak of Tevar. You will meet those 3 men. You will meet 3 men there. Read 3, please.
Go on from there, and you will come to the oak of Tevar. 3 men will meet you there on their way up to God at Bethel. One of them will be carrying 3 kids, another 3 loaves of bread, and the third a skin of wine.
He's told these 3 are going to Bethel, or Bethel, to worship God. One will have 3 young goats, one will have 3 loaves of bread, one will be carrying a skin of wine. They are going to honor you, and here's how. Read 4, please.
They will greet you and give you 2 loaves of bread, which you are to accept from them.
Even though they are going to Bethel, they will offer you, Saul, 2 of those loaves. You, sir, are to accept them. Now here's something I put in little parentheses. That is another one you must stop and think about. They were going to God with their gifts to offer it to Yahweh, yet they give some of their gift to Saul.
Mm-hmm.
Samuel says, accept their gifts from them. Here is something that will happen next. Read 5, please.
After that, you will come to Gibeah of God, where the Philistines are garrisoned. On arrival at the city, there you will meet a group of prophets coming down from the high place, preceded by lyres, tambourines, flutes, and lyres, and they will be prophesying.
The group of prophets will follow the music from the high place while they are prophesying. Then, sir, you will be changed. Read 6.
Then the spirit of Yahweh will fall on you. You will prophesy with them and be turned into another man.
Don't you see this going down the mountain, and this guy says you will not know yourself. For the spirit of Yahweh will come on you. Oh, this is getting exciting for Saul. Or Shaul. Read 7, please.
When these signs come over you, just do whatever you feel like doing, because God is with you.
You, sir, are called. Yes, I'm sorry. You are to do what's right. Do whatever you feel like Yahweh is, knowing yes, Yahweh is with you. That would be hard for anyone without a big ego to accept, wouldn't it? Go to Gilgal ahead of me. Read 8, please.
Then you are to go down ahead of me to Gilgal, and there I will come down to you to offer burnt offerings and present sacrifices as peace offerings. Wait there 7 days until I come to you and tell you what to do.
Samuel must offer burnt offerings, a sacrifice as a peace offering, and you, Saul, wait 7 days, so when I come to you, then I can tell you what you are to do. Mm-hmm. Read 10 and 11, please.
I didn't read 9.
I mean, 9 and 10.
Okay.
Sorry.
I thought I forgot it. As it happened, as soon as he had turned his back to leave Samuel, God gave him another heart, and all those signs took place that day. 9 and 10, right? Mm-hmm. When they arrived at the hill, and there in front of him was a group of prophets, the Spirit, on the page, of God fell on him, and he prophesied along with them.
It happened just like that judge, this prophet, exactly. Samuel, said it would. Skepticism came upon the people who knew him and his family. Remember, there's a special person in the New Testament that says the prophet is not welcome in his own home, his own town. We'll find out who that is. Read 11, please.
When those who knew him from before saw him there prophesying with the prophets, they asked each other, "What happened to Kish's son? Is Saul a prophet too?"
Now, yeah, then I talked about this with George on last Thursday. If we walked into our hometown that saw us growing up, and we started acting and they started thinking that we were prophets, do you think they'd really go, "Oh, yeah, I remember him. He looked like he was going to be a prophet"? I don't think so. I had to put that in there. George and I joked about that. Hey, that's the son of Kish. Wait a minute. Can that be Saul? Read 12 and 13, please.
Someone in the crowd answered, "Must prophets' fathers be special?" So it became an expression. Is Saul a prophet too? When he finished prophesying, he arrived at the high place.
Most fathers of prophets are special. I know nobody knew my dad would say he was special. Oh, the grandkids might. Most fathers of prophets are special already. Are you sure this Saul is a prophet? He finished prophesying. Saul got up to the high place when the questions started coming to him. Oh boy, when it actually started coming. Read 14, please.
Saul's uncle said to him and the servant, "Where did you go?" He answered, "To look for the donkeys. When we saw that they hadn't been found, we went to Samuel." 14 and 15, right?
Just 14.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Now, George and I talked about this too. His own relatives didn't believe it. And I can imagine most of my relatives that ever knew me wouldn't believe anything about what we're saying tonight. They wouldn't believe, and I don't think George should go up to his brothers and say, hey, I'm a prophet. His own relatives asked, where have you been looking for the donkeys? Where did you get this stuff? Saul said, we heard they were found when we went to Shemuel, the prophet, the judge. We already heard that. All right, read 15.
Tell me, please, said Saul's uncle, what Samuel said to you.
Okay, what did this Samuel, this judge, this prophet, really say to you, Saul? Read 16, please.
Saul answered his uncles. He told me that the donkeys had been found, but said nothing to him about the matter of his being made king.
He said the donkeys had been found. Could you imagine, now I want you to think about this one. Could you imagine the look on his uncle's face or your uncle's face if Saul would have said, oh, by the way, now I'm your king? It seems Saul was, you might say, kind of skeptical himself. Read 17 through 20.
Samuel summoned the people to Yadhavah in Mitzvah. He said to the people of Israel, here is what Yadhavah, the God of Israel, says. I brought Israel up from Egypt. I rescued you from the power of the Egyptians and from the power of all the kingdoms that oppressed you. But today you have rejected your God, who himself saves you from all your disasters and distress. You said to him, no, put a king over us. So now present yourselves before Yadhavah by your tribes and families. So Samuel had all the tribes come forward, and the tribe of Benjamin was chosen.
The people picked to have an earthly man as their king. Even though, look what your heavenly king has done for you. That's more or less what they said.
Mm-hmm.
All you tribes of Israel are summoned now to Mitzvah. The tribe of Benjamin was the one your king is picked from. Yeah, wait a minute. I just thought of this. You got all these big tribes, and you have the little bitty tribe, the least liked, the least powerful, the least rich of any of the tribes. And he's saying, Benjamin is the tribe that you're going to have for a first king. That'd be kind of interesting. How the rest of the tribes would go, are you nuts?
Are you kidding? So,
all right.
guys.
Read 21, please.
He had the tribe of Benjamin come forward by families, and the family of the Mitra was chosen, and Saul, the son of Kish, was chosen. But when they looked for him, he couldn't be found.
Samuel says, Saul, the son of Kish, is the one chosen, but Saul wasn't found. Wonder why. Read 22, please.
They asked Yadhavah, has a man come here? Yadhavah answered, there he is, hiding among the equipment.
Saul, still skeptical, he went and hid among the equipment. No, wait a minute. No, if you really think about that, here you got this guy chosen as king, and he goes and hides behind the equipment before he even gets promoted, you might say. Interesting. Read 23 and 24.
They ran and brought him from there, and when he stood among the people, he was head and shoulders taller than anyone around. Samuel said to all the people, do you see the man Yadhavah has chosen? That there is no one like him among all the people. Then all the people shouted, long live the king.
They brought Yadhavah chosen to Samuel the prophet. He was a tall man, and the people shouted, "Long live the king!" Did everybody show Saul honor and respect? Not really. Read 25, please.
Samuel told the people what kinds of rulings should be made in the kingdom, then wrote it on a scroll and set it down before Yahweh. After that, he sent all the people away, everyone to his own home.
The prophet Samuel wrote the rules for the kingdom and presented the scroll to Yahweh. After that, everybody went home. What does the king do? Let's find out what the king actually did. What does he do? Read 26.
Saul, too, went home to Gibeah, accompanied by warriors whose hearts God had touched.
The new king went home to Gibeah. But Yahweh had already touched the hearts of Saul's secret guards, you might say. The people who accepted God's choice that Samuel, just crowned king, brought gifts and showed Saul respect. Read 27, please.
True, there were some scoundrels who said, "How can this man save us?" They showed him no respect and brought him no gift, but he held his peace.
I like how David Stern writes it down. They were scoundrels.
Scoundrels.
Saul held his peace. He wasn't worried about them. Remember, Shaul hadn't really done anything yet. Well, he doesn't do anything until 1 Samuel chapter 11. Then he sets his kingdom, his authority, and his obedience was to Yahweh, leading the people of Israel. What we call chapter 11 is the beginning of Saul's kingship. We want you to notice it in the beginning of this next chapter, chapter 11, which we'll do next week. Now, this is kind of serious from us. We have been contacted by two parties saying we did something that no congregation, synagogue, religious teacher, priest, pope, church, or religion would do, when we had to admit we had been wrong on what we stated as true. We apologize. Although that thought never crossed my mind, that we had been wrong. See, for so long, our stance is when we find truth, we must present it to society. That's you people. Then you have to do what you have to do. That is the only thing we thought of, truth. Now, there are three important truths that we have been given the privilege to find and relay to you, to society. 1, the true personal name of our God, Yahweh. It's Y-U-D, Yud, H-E-H, He, V-A-V, and some people have W-A-W, they, and then H-E-H-E-N, Yud, He, Vahe. Number 2, the true only personal name the Messiah was ever known by or called when he walked the earth. And we've learned about that for the last 7 years. Yeshua. And number 3, the religious head is a form of an antichrist. A man voted in by mere men who exalts himself to a special person with way too much in his mind and his believing. This man now has divine power. Let me ask you this question. Have you ever heard your religious leader admit that they have been wrong in their stance with Yahweh or Yeshua? I would have to say it'd be a cold day before they'd ever. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, that's why the road's so hard. That tiny road to Yeshua that we used to call for the first 3 years, it's not just a tiny road. It's capitalized hard road. Mm-hmm. And you have to admit, when we had to tell the society that we were wrong in saying Adonai, because in the Hebrew language, Adonai is the Lord, so they usually put God behind that and said Adonai God, and we thought that was his real name until the truth came out. Until we found it. We studied until we found Yod Hevahe, or Yod Hewahe. And George and I talked a lot about even what the Hebrews have done by trying to teach the leading people of other religions that it must be okay if you use a substitute. It's not. Yod-Heh-Vah or Yod-Heh-Wah is what Moses was told from when he went up to the burning bush by Yod-Heh-Vah. Now, using that name won't get you to heaven no more than using George will get you out the door. Might get you thrown out the door, but it won't get you out the door. See, if you don't study for truth, and we apologize for the last almost 4 years, that we were brainwashed by what a lot of the Hebrews have said, and we didn't complete our study about what God's real name was. We took somebody's word for it instead of trying to hunt for it ourselves. And we found it, and we like it, and we think that's right. We believe that whole society needs to understand what his name is. What'd Tom say?
Even if they wanted to, their religion wouldn't allow it, and they would be removed from the pulpit.
And he's talking about it's the priests
They admitted
that
Mm-hmm.
their religion, their stance was wrong. They would sure not be there the next week. But take somebody with, see, don't believe me because of what we say. Do your own study. I'm not that smart. I'm here in the sanctuary trying to do society work to find truth for Yehovah and Yeshua. I suggest you people do the same. Have a good week. See you next week right here. Bye.